Good afternoon, you lovely lot. Welcome to the Friday softer side of life. Now, of course, if it is morning, very good early morning to you guys stateside. Whatever time zone it is, wherever you are across the globe, it's lovely to have your company. My name is Craig Laird, as you can see along the bottom there. And as I say, this is all about where we focus for 2 hours on the soft crafts. Many items you'll still be able to use when it comes to your paper crafts, as that's what you predominantly like to do when it comes to crafting. But it is all there on the website for you to check out. We are going to be having a look at it throughout this show, of course, but if you head across to crafterscompanion.co.uk.com or .eu, that's where you're going to find everything. Now, I would say go into Shop the Day, where that is where we feature what we talk about, plus things that we don't always get to, but then you've always got your soft craft section, your threader section, your multi-craft die section across on the website as well. So always have a little look at what else you can find there. Maybe you'll purchase something within the soft crafts today, and then you'll maybe see a few other things that will work and complement at your choosing. Lots to choose from across there. But I am not on my own. We're back together again after an absolutely epic wake-up call. She's back again, but without the chopsticks. Becky's here with the sewing machine.
Hello, back again. I really enjoyed that chopstick challenge.
I did.
You have more with chopsticks.
I was rubbish, but...
Look, well, I think you just need to practice. I think there may be
might be some.
Yeah, there might be some. I think we just need to practice, Craig.
I think we do.
Because actually, world record holders practice. We need more Smarties, more Smarties, more opportunities to practice, and then we'll be world champions.
That's it, yeah, practice. That's where only Smarties have the answer.
Yeah.
Practice. Yeah. Practice, practice, practice. If you are wondering what we are on about, we are going to, well, I would urge you to go back afterwards and watch Wake Up Call, once we're not live, of course, to see what we were talking about. It was a lot of fun. But what are we going to have a look at today, Becky?
We've got all sorts of different things on the show. We've got some nesting dies. We're going to do some more with those applique animal templates that I showed you in Wake Up Call. And I'm also going to have a look at the beautiful velvets that we've got on the show. We've got some nice dies that you can run through your Gemini and cut some beautiful shapes in order to make some really lovely kind of evening bags in the sumptuous, gorgeous velvet, which I say is like snuggling up to a baby hamster.
Brilliant. It's going to be fun.
Have I snuggled up with a baby hamster? I mean, I've had a baby hamster.
Have you?
Yeah. It's just the same. If you had a baby hamster on one side, piece of velvet on the other, and you went like that, you wouldn't be able to tell which was which. Oh, you would, because one of them might squeak.
That's next week's challenge. We've got Rachel back on the social again. She's on her Todd at the moment because Ted's fallen asleep while he was having some food. Yeah, he's not good, much good of a co-worker, Rachel, is he? Laziness. Eats and sleeps. Just like George. Right, so Becky is with me all day today. We'll be flip-flopping later on, where we're having a look at our paper craft launch, whereas Becky will be on this side and I'll be across on that side. But as this is all about soft crafts, anything that you want to ask or you want to check with Becky, you can get in contact with social along the bottom there, whether it is Facebook or YouTube, just like Kathy Lear has done already, saying hello everyone from Central Illinois. It's a beautiful Friday. It absolutely is. We've also got Kelly Jones is saying, good morning from Ohio. I'm not a seamstress, but I really enjoy Becky's makes. It's good to know.
Thank you.
It's always interesting. I'm fascinated as well as how you make them, you sew them or you stitch them or you
we're going to get you over here, I reckon, to do a little bit of stitching.
Won't say no to that.
Okay,
I'm up for that. We've also got Sandra Sandra Dundasser on YouTube is saying, hi everyone, my order is in today, including the heat erasable pens for use with my template library.
Yeah, absolutely. They're really, really useful, and for all sorts of different things. I mean, I just think that if you're doing a bit of DIY and you're trying to measure or you're trying to hang up a picture, you're putting a few marks on your wall, trying to make sure everything's straight, use the heat erasable pens to mark them rather than the pencil, and then just head right over the top.
Becky, if this was a microphone, I would be drop that.
Yeah.
What a great idea.
Pen drop.
Awesome idea.
Heat erasable pen drop. There you go.
There you go. Yeah, it doesn't have the same kind of flow to it, does it? Yeah, there you go. Hey, if I took my mic pack and done that and said mic pack, oh my gosh, you wouldn't see me again. They'd have me out there John would be running through saying who's throwing that mic pack down. So yeah, that won't be happening. But yeah, joking aside, getting social with the comments with Becky and myself. But we are going to be having a look at something that has not been seen for a few months. And not only that, it's buy two, get two free. Now this is your nesting dies. This is your multi-craft nesting dies. So this is where it's 4-piece selection, 34 dies in total. Now what you're going to be getting is your triangles. Now you've got 7 of your triangle nesting dies. So you've got all of these here, which of course are going to work perfectly for your fabrics, but are also going to work really, really well for all your heavy materials should you use them in the paper craft. So you've got the triangles. You've then also got your squares. So the smallest is 1 inch and it goes all the way up to 5 inch on the square. So that's 9 dies that you've got in total with that one. We've also then got our circles. So when it comes to the circles in diameter, the smallest one is 1 inch, and then the largest one also goes up to 5 inch. And then you've got the love hearts. Who doesn't love the love hearts when it comes to the nesting dies? Now within these ones here, these go from 1 inch all the way up to 5 inch in diameter as well. And then I know we touched upon the triangles, but let's go back, because when it comes to the triangle, when it comes to the wider part at the base of the triangle, the smallest one is 1 inch, and it goes up to 5.2 inches for that largest one. So that is your triangle. So of course, I've said the fabrics, I've said all your different materials, I've said all of your, you can do your mount boards, etc., and you can still use them with your papers as well. You can absolutely do that. They are initially for your fabrics as well as your heavy materials, but there's nothing stopping you from using them with your actual paper crafts. So that does work out as you're buying 2, you're getting 2 for free, $49.98 or $79.90. You've then got that incredible platinum price already at $39.98 or $63.92, and it is just like paper crafts, Becky. They are essential shapes, but
yeah,
boy, you can do different things with them.
Absolutely, because you could use them for applique, you can use them for patchwork, obviously not the heart one, but you could use them for all sorts of different things. And I think that's really key. Now, that circular one is great because you can cut those of circles and you can stitch them, and you can make flowers out of them. You can make sort of pin cushions, you could make little sort of tiny sort of balls and cushions and things like that. There's a wealth of different things that you can do with these, and of course, because like you say, they're multimedia dies, you know, you can use them in your paper craft as well. And I always quite like the idea that you can cross over. You know, it seems a shame to have something you can only use for one substance and one purpose. There's a few examples here. So this is using the squares. They're used as applique. So we've created this kind of almost sort of psychedelic kind of feel to it, isn't it? I really like this. Very simple to achieve and very easy to do. So that is your squares. Then with your triangles, using your triangles to sew them together to make a patchwork item. Triangles are a sort of key item that you might want to use. I know Lily did a I don't know whether it was a craft along, but she did something using triangles in paper craft, and she used some acetate. So she made it using the triangles as a kind of shaker card, and that worked really well. And again, you know, it doesn't matter if you use them for paper, it doesn't matter if you use them for fabric, they're still going to work with each other. So don't think you're going to blunt them, because that's not how the dies work. Circles, again, circles, nightmare to cut. I just don't bother cutting circles. Well, you saw how difficult it was me cutting those circles earlier. It's really hard. Yeah, when you do small things, use a pair of tweezers to turn things around. But this quilt here, this is really beautiful. This little table runner. You can see all the different circles that we've got here. We've cut some out, so you've got almost like hoops. You could almost do like a Olympic rings kind of design on here. You could do these. You could then, before you've completely stitched all the way around the outside, you could stuff these with some wadding or some toy animal stuffing, and then stitch around the edge, and then you get like a puffy kind of design, which is quite nice. So you can do that. And then of course the hearts. The hearts we will use again and again. You can make these into bunting, which I'm going to do a little bit later on. You can make them into those little sort of pin cushions, or maybe, you know, sort of lavender sachets. There's all sorts of things you could do with those. So they're really versatile and well worth having. To show you what you're going to get inside, I haven't got all of them with me, but I have got the hearts, so I'll open those up to show you. These are the copper coloured dies, so you know they're the multimedia dies. They're not going to hurt you when you press against them, but they are going to cut up to 8 layers of fabric in one go. And obviously you've got all those different sizes, but to show you the amount of different sizes you're going to be getting, it really is an ideal thing to have, and it is one of your staples. Your circles, again, showing you all those different sizes there. I mean, really useful for your matting and laying and your card making, but equally amazing for any of your soft craft. So what we're going to do is we're going to cut some hearts I'm going to make a cutlery holder. So I was thinking, you know, the sun's out, it's summer. Well, it's summer at the moment. It might not be summer for much longer. But I thought, when you're going for picnics, that sort of thing, I'd like to make a little cutlery thing. Now, the fox cushion that I was making earlier on today, I thought could be a picnic cushion. You know, I don't like to sit on the grass. I like to sit on a cushion because I'm like a princess. So we can have those two things together. Right, so we've got some fabric here. Now, it will cut up to 8 layers of fabric. And I'm just going to take the 2 smallest of the heart shapes that we've got. So I've got 1, 2, 3 layers of fabric there. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 layers of fabric there. I'm going to lay those over the top of each other, and I'm going to place the dies like that with a bit of tape.
To the board?
Yep. Absolutely.
Of course.
To the board. Like that. And I always think, you know, I don't want, and it has happened to me, I haven't fully taped down my dies, and, you know, you've got these layers of fabric and my dies moved, and I've ended up having 2 dies on top of each other, which has ruined them.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so I think I'd much rather be secure in knowing that I've got everything in the right place and not have to worry about it. So I'm going to pop these through the machine. Craig,
What?
are you wandering around the studio picking up chocolate?
God, if it's not Debbie Robinson throwing me under the bus when I have a drink, you've now just thrown me under the bus by going to get a couple of Smarties.
I'm still just getting my own back for what you said about me earlier on today. Off air, thank goodness, but it was nearly on air, wasn't it? Let's
think
be
it was
honest.
that bad.
Let's be honest. Right, so that little bit of tape, I'm just going to pull that off. So I've just got some really pretty, it's very thin cotton fabric here. So I'm just going to cut those like that, just get rid of that tape. Oh, there you go. There's a tape everywhere. So I've cut through 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 layers of cotton fabric there, but actually this cotton is really thin. I'd probably be able to cut through more.
Right.
So we say 6 to 8 layers, but if it's really thin cotton, you probably get a few more. Equally, if you're using thicker fabric, it will take a little bit longer. So we've got these little hearts like that. Now I want to adhere them to my fabric, so you could do them in the way that we did earlier on today. So we used some of our spray, and we're going to iron those on, or you can use some Bonder web on those. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put them there, and I'm going to hide them underneath that because I've got the fan on and they're going to blow away. Now I've got 2 pieces of fabric here. This is going to make my base for my cutlery holder, and then this is going to make that little pocket that goes at the front. And this is the piece that I'm going to want to embellish. So first of all, what I want to do is I want to take this piece of fabric and I want to stitch it right sides together. It's actually a long strip I've just folded in half. So I want to stitch down here and down here, and I want to leave this open because I'm going to fold it back the other way, just so I've got a little space to turn this out. So I'm going to do this. Now I always think that these are something, you know, whenever you look at home inspiration, they always have something like this, don't they?
Yeah.
They always have a really beautiful design of a garden where everything's all laid out beautifully, and they have these kind of cutlery holders, which I think are a really great idea because it makes everything look colour coordinated.
It does, doesn't it?
Yeah,
Ties it all
really
together.
like that. So just stitching with your normal stitch, 1/4 inch seam allowance, roughly. It doesn't matter so much on something like this because we're just sort of making it ad hoc. So I just looked at the cutlery that I had at home and just sort of worked out roughly what the right size was.
Do you have to take into account, like yours is going to have all the gems and the bling and the gold and the pearls with it? So
What do
you'll
you
have
say?
to take into account the thickness.
Yeah, you do. And actually, with this cotton, you might want to put some interfacing in there just to give it a bit more substance. You can absolutely do that. I haven't done that here today, but you can do that yourselves. Yeah, you can embellish it in any sort of way you want to. Now, like I said, I bought this sewing machine. Oh, I knew that would happen.
Oh.
Always.
Always.
Always. Give me 2 seconds. So now when I was saying about when I bought this embroidery machine and my husband said it was cheating.
Yeah.
And I do, there was actually, I've embroidered a very sort of pretty picture. Is my mum watching? Will my mum be watching? She might be watching. Mum, don't listen to this bit. Okay, Mum, don't listen to this bit. I've said it twice. So she's, I've embroidered this really pretty sort of hollyhock scene. And again, that would be beautiful to have on something like this. It would be very easy to do. You could use it for, or you could use it with the embellishments that I'm going to be doing as well. So, you can really make it your own doing something like this. And think of those nesting dies as, I think, was it Debbie Fisher talks about we've said before about worker dies. They are worker dies. They are the dies that you're going to use again and again. They're going to be really useful. They're almost the things that, if you're a paper crafter, you might always have those rectangular mat and layer dies on your craft table. Those will be your ones for your sewing that you'll always have. I'm just going to trim those little corners so it folds nicely. And I'm going to turn it out the right way, and we're going to give it a press. And we're going to finish off that bottom part.
Okay.
So, you can use a chopstick to do these corners, or you can use a little pin. You might have a little turning thing. You can get like a little turning tool. But you can use a little pin just to get those little edges out.
What's the tips with the pins coming from you today,
I use
Becky?
pins all the time. Yeah, they're always useful to have around. Okay. That is very much the case, Nicola's saying you need a magnetic dish. I have this magnetic dish, it's a bit fluffy now, and I have it just behind my sewing machine, so I can just flick the pins. If I move that here, I don't know if you can see just over here, I've got a little collection of my pens over here, and that would be where I would normally have my dish. So I have my dish just literally behind there, and so I can flick my pins out, and then it's handy because it means that nothing's going to fall on the floor. So we're going to give this a press. Oh, pins back on my my hearts. Okay, I'm just going to press this, and then we're going to fold this little piece here over like that, and then we're going to tuck it in and fold it over that way as well.
So it gives it that really
So
nice finished edge.
Yeah, so we've got like a little bit of a seam going on here, or a little bit of a hem rather than a seam. So just like this. So this would be the same sort of thing I would do if I was making any kind of bag, drawstring bag or something like that, just to neaten off those edges. And then you just need to top sew over the top, down there. Okay. I'll give this a quick stitch along here.
Okay. Nice gift idea as well, doing this.
I'll get you over in a minute, Craig, and get you sewing.
Let's do it.
Did you used to sew? Have you ever sewn? Sorry.
That's okay. I did at high school.
Yeah.
And then, Steph that works next door in head office, who loves her soft crafts and that as well. She, when I used to have a desk next to her in head office, she used to do some sewing at the desk for shows and that, and she showed me and I had to try, and so I've
So you know how to use a sewing machine?
like if you just say, right, Craig, there's a fabric, go and do it, I'd be like, no.
I could challenge Craig to thread the machine. That is always a challenge. It always goes wrong.
Does it?
It doesn't matter how many times, I get it all prepared. It's still a bit of a pain in the neck when it doesn't, it wants to...
Is it just like threading a needle when you try and get it through the eye of the needle, but the needle is in the sewing machine thing, or is it completely different?
It's a bit different. You have to follow a bit of a journey to thread your machine. And it is, you know, it often sewing machines.
Story journey.
Sewing machines have numbers on them, so it shows you where to follow. But some machines don't have that. You just have to know. It goes up and down and around and through, and it's a bit tricky. That was not the best start for the stitching there, but let's start again. Okay, we're just doing the same thing for the actual pocket that we're using. So we're stitching down either side. It's a long strip of fabric, but if you only want just using up 2 scraps of fabric, you could do 2 pieces of fabric together, and then you would just sort of stitch around all 3 sides. So we're going to do this side as well.
And did you say that's inside out?
We'll turn it inside out, the other way around. You could finish it off with your, if you had an overlocker, you could do that, finish off the edges if you wanted to do that. It shouldn't be a problem if you, what we're doing here. So just trimming off those threads that we've got on there, and then we're going to trim those little corners again, so we've got a nice, neat point, like that. Oh. I have to stitch that one again, not quite caught that. I've always gone a little bit over on my seam allowance there, just give me a little bit under.
So if that happens, do you have to, like, I know you're not de-stitching it, but should you, or are you fine just to go back over what you've done?
Yeah, I mean, well, it depends what you're making. If you were making something that was a patchwork item, I would unpick the whole thing and sort of unpick that section and start again. With this, it doesn't really matter. You can see I've got a couple of rows of stitching. So obviously, where I stitched on this side, this piece of fabric was slightly a bit smaller, so it's not really an issue. I've just made that to stitch that seam again. Those sorts of things happen. I mean, the way that you would minimise that is making sure you pin really well. And make sure that you trim everything so everything's exactly the right size. But we're doing this, you know, and we're not following a pattern. I mean, if you want to know the sizing of this, I've cut, it's roughly 5 inches by 10. Well, it would have been 5.5 inches by 10.5, and then this would be 5 inches by 7. So you can see when we put them on together, because I've had to stitch that seam again, it's made that bit a little bit smaller, that piece that's going to go on there, but I don't think it really matters. Give that a press again, and then we're going to do exactly the same thing. So we're going to find that little hem, and we're going to stitch that together, but we're not going to stitch that together yet. So we're going to fold that over like that. So we've got a little bit of a mark, and then we'll fold this in like that. So we've got that nice, neat edge, like that. So we're going to take our hearts. So I've already cut my hearts down here, and I've got some other ones which I've used Bondaweb on. So Bondaweb is like a sheet of glue that effectively goes onto your item, and you just need to iron it. This is what we're going to be using here. We're going to be stitching down this piece here onto here, and then stitching around the sides. But we want to decorate this first of all before we start doing that. So with these little butterflies, with these little hearts, we can make them into butterflies by putting those two like that. And then we can just stitch along with our machine down here. So it gives you the idea of butterfly. Or we could use them as just hearts. Actually, I thought they looked quite nice, dotted around as individual hearts. You can do all sorts of different things, or you could make them into flowers by stitching them like
Becky, could you know when it comes to like stamped backgrounds and that, you know how I like to do my random backgrounds?
Yeah.
So could you, before you've stitched that green pouch, could you have like the fabric out the length that it was, and then do your hearts then? So obviously it will go over the edge, but then once you sew the left and the right, then you're getting that pure random effect with the love hearts. Because
say that again. So you'd, I couldn't figure what you were saying.
See how the way that you're placing the hearts here,
Yeah.
you're going to see all that. So
Yeah.
can I come across?
Come here,
Can I
Craig.
come across? So, and I'm just thinking of stamping terms now. So say we were going to do like sort of random, and then for me when it comes to random, I always say stamp off the page.
Yeah.
So would I?
So you're effectively
this
making
now.
your own patterned fabric.
So your own
yeah.
pattern, or before you've stitched the edge,
Yeah.
could I do that? And then obviously the edges of the heart would be tucked under,
Yeah.
so it'll be nice
Yeah,
and smooth.
what I would do is before I'd stitched anything, so before when the fabric was just plain, I would have done all of that.
Got ya.
Made sure I've, maybe have a little bit of a template, or make sure that you've got some of them that you're cutting it off from, and then stitch it all together afterwards. Yeah, you absolutely could do that.
Perfect.
No problem
Awesome.
at all.
Just
Good
wondered that.
idea, Craig. He's full of them, isn't he?
Well, yes, Nicola, I'm not going to go there.
Right.
I'm the same.
I'm going to make them into a flower like this. So I've already got bonded web on 2 of them, so I'm just going to iron that there. And that's going to adhere them. And then this one, I'm just going to get a piece of paper or a piece of card, and I'm going to use the pokey tool, which I did find. You'll be glad to know because I couldn't find it earlier.
My craft case is there if you want.
Huh?
My craft case is there if you
Oh,
want.
I wouldn't use your craft case, Craig. I imagine it's immaculate in there. Does he not? Am I very privileged for you to offer me your craft case?
I don't mind as long
I
as
might
people
just go
put
in
it
there and
back.
have a rummage anyway. We're going to use the spray on these ones here. So I'm going to, again, hold it down with my pokey tool. And I'm going to use my spray. And then when I've got a fair sort of bit of glue on there, I will then place it down here and then give it an iron.
So when a heart becomes a butterfly, becomes a 4-leaf clover.
Yeah. So maybe I do a heart there, maybe I do a butterfly down here. Maybe that's the way to go. What do you think?
I
Does that
like
work?
that idea.
A butterfly like that?
Cute.
Right, so let's spray those 2.
Teresa loves that idea as well. Oh, that's clever, turning hearts into butterflies. Phil Watson on YouTube is saying, threading a sewing machine needle should be a craft Olympic event. It's even easier to shake hands with Elvis.
It's one of those things that when I do a craft along, it's always a bit of a worry because actually it can go wrong for anybody. You know, your sewing machine doesn't play ball and you have to rethread your machine a few times, and that could take quite a long time in a craft along. So it's always been a little bit of a challenge to make sure that you've got that kind of, you've still got a bit of time.
Mm-hmm.
Right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to...
Sarah C on YouTube, my bargain soft crafts delivery just arrived. Yay! Some of the hamster fur velvet, the build-a-block dies, bulk pouch templates, and the big capitals, bargain price organisers.
Excellent.
Nice.
Right, I'm just changing the stitch on there. I'm going to do a zigzag stitch down here for the butterfly, just along the middle. And I'm just stitching down there for the body, and then I'm going to change it to, I'm going to do something not illegal.
Oh.
But, no, not illegal. I'm not breaking the law. Well, I'm going to do something a little bit scary, because what I'm going to do, I'm going to do a bit of free motion machine embroidery without
Let's go with
free motion
controversial,
fit.
not illegal, Becky.
Okay, sorry. Not illegal, but legal in terms of sewing.
The
Will you let me
the
sew?
sewing police.
Yeah.
Nino,
Right,
Nino,
so
Nino.
if Now, anyone that's used a free motion machine embroidery foot knows it takes ages for it to go on the machine. So what I'm going to do is I've just stitched that butterfly body down there. It would have been better with a different colour. But I also want to stitch a couple of one of his little antennae. So in order to do that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my sewing machine. I've dropped the feed dogs, and which are the little bits in your sewing machine which grip hold of your fabric and push it through. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to do it really, really slowly with my normal foot and stitch.
Whoa.
Yeah, look, sewing machine didn't like it. Sewing machine didn't like it. There you go. So I've done that little bit there. So you can just see, that's down there, you can just see I've got a little line of the little antennae, and I could do that again with that, but the sewing machine's not very happy, so I'm going to leave it. So I've got my little flowers here. I am going to build up those flowers, so I'm going to do some little layers of the smaller petals in there, because I can do that.
Okay.
I can do that.
You can.
Again, a little bit of spray. Pop that there. I'll do the same with that one. We're just going to adhere it. So you can decorate this in all sorts of different ways. But again, if I was doing this at home, I'd probably be inclined to embroider by hand the little antennae on the butterfly. Again, little heart here. So you can really have sort of fun with it and create what you want. And with the glue, with these this adhesive, until you can reposition it until you're happy, provided you haven't put the iron on it.
Right.
So you can see here, I'm just moving everything the way I want to put it to create that little pattern. There you go. I think that will be fine, and then just iron that in place. So now that we're happy with how we've decorated it with those little shapes, we're then going to start putting this together. So we want to put that over here, like that. We're going to place that. I just need to give that another iron because that's lifting up a little bit. So this is the piece I haven't finished off here with the stitching, because I don't need to, because I'm going to top stitch everything together. So put that on the top of here, like that, and then we're going to stitch down either side here to finish that off, and also at the bottom. You could finish it off with a bit of binding if you wanted to. That's something you can do, but I don't think you're really necessarily going to need to do that. But maybe some of this fabric as a binding around the edge, that would look quite pretty.
It would, wouldn't it?
If you had that around the edge, it would look quite nice. Finish it off. We can do that. So we're just going to pin this around the edge. Will do. So because I made that this piece of fabric, the dark green rather than the patterned green, is a tiny bit smaller because I ended up going over that that little seam a little bit more because I hadn't quite got it quite right. It's a little bit small, but it doesn't matter. We'll be fine. No worries. Okay. Oh, I do need to lift my feed dogs. Becky!
Becky!
Becky! Can't take me anywhere. Anywhere.
You're silly, Billy.
See, this is the problem with sewing machines, because if you don't use them right, they don't like it. This is all for a reason, isn't it? Right.
That's what it wasn't four-leaf clover I was thinking of. Teresa saying you could join the three hearts to make a shamrock. That's what I was thinking. Is that a four-leaf clover?
I think a shamrock is only 3 petals, isn't it, rather than a...
So a shamrock's a clover. So yeah, 3 hearts to make a shamrock, but then they say it's lucky if you find a 4-leaf clover. That's what it is, isn't it? Yeah, that's what it is. So I was kind of right.
Do you know what? Bean doesn't like me anymore, this sewing machine.
Will I have a quick recap, Becky, of these nesting
dies?
dies?
If you don't mind.
Yeah, of course I can, no problem. So these are your multimedia nesting dies. Now these haven't been seen since April, so we have got them here. Let me just check my notes that I did say that, right? Absolutely, yes, April, that is correct. Now with these ones, it is essentially today, it's buy two, get two free, $49.98 or $79.90. If you are platinum, it's going to be $39.98 or $63.92. So that's going to be giving you your square nesting dies. Now these are your multi-craft, multimedia dies. So yes, for your fabrics, but then you can still do your mount boards, your chipboards, you can do all your different thick materials. Plus you can still do your cardstock as well, and even then you can do a few layers at once. So you've got your 9 squares. You've then also got your circles. So when it comes to the circles, why not think about something that Leanne showed the other day, and that is where you can create your little frames when it comes to the nesting dies, and also your mount board. So the mount board that you would use for your jigsaws. So you can do that with the 9 dies. And then what you can also do, as they found out too, with mount board, if you die cut a few of them, create a couple of frames with the circles, sandwich them together, and then they make a great ring for a pom-pom maker. So you could do that as well. What I would say is don't sandwich them with adhesive, because you need to cut all the way around, of course, to make the pom-pom, but you can do that with the circles. You're also going to get the love hearts that Becky's been using here. So you have got your 9, so there are 9 dies. Apparently you can make pom-poms heart. You can't. Oh, I was away to say, Nicola. I thought Nicola said apparently you can make and I'm thinking, no, you can't. No, you can't. With love heart, you need the circle ones, of course.
I think you just trim the hearts, the circle ones, to make the...
But it is the circle ones. So yeah, so it was an idea that Nicola had, and they very gently just shot her ideal down. And then you've also got your triangles too. So all these being the nesting dies, you've got your 7 dies within this one here, working out that you're buying 2, you're getting 2 for free, you're getting 34 dies in total, $49.98 or $79.90. So of course that buy 1, get 2 free. Essentially that means that you're saving, as you can see on the screen, it's $49.98 or $79.90. But if you are platinum, that then comes down to $39.98 or $63.92. Across on the website, shop the day, it's where you need to go. And I think maybe not. When it comes to, of course, these dies, so these are your multi-craft dies, so these are still going to go through your Gemini 2 as normal. So even although looking forwards, when it comes to you that have got your Gemini 2, G2, absolutely still use your Gemini 2. You don't need to change the plate configuration. Same plate configuration. Just remember, of course, your frosted shim's a bit frostier, and then your cutting plate is your white plate now. So it's just to keep that one in mind, but you can still use them, no problem whatsoever. Card making, home decor, your soft crafts, whether you're going to be doing maybe little gifts, maybe you're going to be doing some of the cushions, or maybe a nice throw. Lovely ways in which you can do them. What I would say though, these are your multi-craft dies. Because they are thicker, please don't use these on the foil press. When it comes to... Because they're just a little bit too thick, Becky.
Oh, right, okay.
So what will happen is the base of them, you can get a little bit, a fair bit of an indentation into your hot plate. And then not only that, what you're then going to do is you can get extra indentation into, although if you're using these to foil with, because they're a bit thicker, what you don't want is you don't want that thickness of the die to cut further up into maybe like your carbon plate or something like that.
Right.
So it's just to keep that one in mind. But then many of you will have your paper craft foils that you could be using, or your paper craft nesting dies. But other than that, you can use them for everything else.
Good to know.
There you go.
I've had to change sewing machines. So no worries, but unfortunately it's now stitched in orange, which wouldn't be the colour that I would choose. So I've stitched around the outside, so you can see I've stitched around here and around the bottom. You can just pop your cutlery in here like this. Or if you wanted to, you could stitch down in the middle and then make different compartments for those. But because I've got green fabric and red thread, I don't really want to do that because you'll really notice those lines. But you can see how you can make those little hearts into other kind of decorations, or you could just have them as little hearts on there. So really, really useful item using those nesting dies. Again, like we said, you've got hearts, circles, triangles and squares, so really useful items to have. But being able to use or have it in one pack all of those little tiny hearts as well as those massive ones as well makes it a really invaluable tool for you to have.
That's brilliant. Now, I don't know if I've had too much Smarties, but why do I see Peppa Pig in that?
Do you know, I do too. I think it's just the pink.
I think it's the pink.
Yeah, it really is a Peppa Pig pink, isn't it?
Peppa Pig.
Have you heard the story about the Peppa Pig ice cream?
No.
There was a company who started using Peppa Pig flavouring, or same flavouring, to make some ice cream, and they had Peppa Pigs on the top of it. And they didn't have a cease and desist from Marks and Spencer's, but they did say, we'd rather you didn't call it Peppa Pig ice cream, or whatever, no, not Peppa Pig, Percy Pig ice cream. But please carry on using it. We're really pleased about it, but you just call it something else. So I can't remember what they called it, like King Pig or something like that. And another supermarket who does a similar kind of sweet wrote to them and said, we're happy for you to call it whatever their name of their piggy sweet is, and sent them a whole load of piggy products to use. And I just think it's really nice because it's a tiny family-run one-shop ice cream in somewhere like Kidderminster, who've now had this huge kind of following.
Oh, that's good to hear.
Yeah,
see,
nice.
not all big companies are, and I'm not saying Marks Spencer's were wrong. They're quite within their right. That's theirs and that. But it's always nice when the big companies say, do you know what? Yeah, to the smaller companies. Yeah. Give it a shot, because who knows where it can take
absolutely.
them. It's always nice to see that. That was so lovely there. I won't do another full recap there, because we've done that just before the end. So lovely.
So lovely.
So lovely on that one, but you can get your hands on them across on the website on shoptheday.co.uk.com or .eu with a platinum price of $39.98 or $63.92. Now, I know we've had quite a few new viewers as of late. Maybe you're one today. If you are, let us know in the comments. But you might be saying, well, what's that purple price? What is that platinum price? Well, here's the boss to tell you all about Club Inspire.
Welcome to Club Inspire, the crafters' companion community where you can feed your crafty obsession. Join our fantastic loyalty club today and receive 20% off your first order. We'll also give you 250 points to help get you started. Other benefits of joining Club Inspire include exclusive special offers and discounts for Club Inspire members only, exclusive sneak peek previews of brand new product launches, and of course the Club Inspire community group on Facebook, where you can access exclusive content such as downloads, offers and inspiration, and of course you can chat and share your makes with other members. You'll receive 1 point for every £1, dollar or euro you spend, and the more points you receive, the more benefits you'll unlock. So what are you waiting for? Sign up, join the club and start rewarding yourself today.
Here at Crafters TV, it couldn't be easier to get your hands on the latest crafty must-haves. Leave the hard work to us while you shop from the comfort of your own living room. Head to the Crafters Companion website to see our full crafty range, or hit the Shop the Day button to see all the new and exciting products featuring on Crafters TV. Once you've filled your cart, leave it to us to get your crafty goodies to you in super quick time, so you can get on with being creative. Crafters Companion, making crafty shopping a breeze.
Tune in to Crafters TV every day to take a look at your crafty collection, make something unique or try a new technique. Join the team for 7 days of creative tutorials from ink pad inspiration and sparkle pen magic to paper pad perfection and foil press techniques. We'll show you how to make the most out of your whole crafty collection. With a new show launching every day from the 5th to the 11th of June, there are 7 opportunities to craft your stash with us. So tune in at 2 p.m. in the UK, 9 a.m. Eastern Time and 6 a.m. Pacific Time to get involved.
Hello crafters, we've got some really exciting news in the works here at Crafters Companion. So I've dug out my hard hat and I've popped down to our UK warehouse to give you the lowdown. Now we do listen to you guys and we know that delivery times have been an issue for our crafty community, so we're doing something about it. The team is getting ready to set up a new and improved state-of-the-art system right here in our global distribution hub. This new picking and packing facility means we'll be able to process orders and ship them to you faster and more efficiently than ever before. This means less time waiting for parcels to arrive and more time getting stuck into your next creative project. While we get this new world-class service up and running, there'll be a few temporary changes. So here's what you need to know. Our UK warehouse will shut down for a week while the team sets up the new system. Don't worry, you can continue to shop as normal on the Crafters Companion website. You'll just wait a little longer for your orders to arrive. US crafters, listen up. We'll be able to send you guys some orders from our warehouse in California. These will be delivered as normal, so look out for this label on the site. If you're waiting for your parcel to arrive, don't worry, we'll keep you crafting. Join the Crafters TV team every day to find out how to make the most of your craft collection. With a different theme and tutorials every day, craft your stash with us to find fresh, creative inspiration in your paper pads, inks, and more. Right, that's enough from me now. I'm going to leave the guys here to get cracking. If you need any more info, head over to the Crafters Companion website and don't forget to tune in to Crafters TV. I'll see you there.
There we go, and that's everything that you need to know about the little changes that's going to be happening. But you know what's going to be exciting, that's for sure. Right, we're going to have a look at, now we did touch upon it earlier on in Wake Up Call. You are going to be getting a 4-pack of templates. You're also going to be getting your erasable pens too. Now when it comes to this price, it works out that you're getting the erasable pens for free and essentially you're getting 15% off the 4-pack of templates. So for all of this, you're going to be $33.96 or $44.03. Platinum price with $27.17 or $35.22. So you're going to get a 3-pack of these ones. We were using them within Wake Up Call, so you get a black one as well. So red, black and blue. So that's coming to you for free. And then you've got your 4 templates. Now they're all animal themed. That's why your animal applique templates, 4-pack with the free pens. Now you've got the rabbit. Now it doesn't make just one size rabbit. You can see within this one you can make 3. And we were talking about it in Wake Up Call that when I was watching Becky at the other side, you could very, very easily use these with your paper craft. No problem whatsoever. Like your builder characters, but instead of the dies, you're just drawing around them, cutting them, and then building them with your card and paper. So you've got 2 templates within that one there. You've then got that 2 pieces, because you get your instruction sheet and guide as well. So then you're also going to be getting the deer. So the same within this one here, where you can make 3 different sized deers. Now the templates themselves that you'll see are about 12 by 12, and it's 2 pieces because you get the guide as well, and it's quite a sizable size guide that we can see here that steps you through, and then you've got all of the different parts of the template to draw around. We've got the fox. Still don't know what the fox says yet, but that comes to you. And that one you can make 3 different sizes when it comes to the fox. Although what we were saying, like, could be a fox, no, it's the, yeah, it was the fox, the Pomeranian.
Yeah, you could make it into kind of little dog
You
very
could.
easily.
Yeah, you really, really could. And then you've got your 2 pieces because you've got a step-by-step, you know, guide as well. And then last but by no means least, you've got the bear, which could be, of course, a polar bear, or it could be having some fun as to what it could be if you wanted it to. 2 pieces in that one because you've got the instructions as well. So $33.96 or $44.03. At that price, essentially, it would. The other way to think, that would have been 15% more. But the price there, $33.96 and $44.03, essentially that works out that you got 15% off them, and you're going to get your erasable pens for free, all 3 of them. So then at a platinum price, it comes down to $27.17 or $35.22. Let's just have a wee look to see what anyone is saying here. We've got, so we're saying, Sarah who was saying that she got her big bargain. We've also got Tess on YouTube saying, good morning y'all, Becky makes the sweetest projects, doesn't she just? Len Blackledge, hashtag Go Live Granny on YouTube, saying, so glad I got these nesting dies. Well, I'm glad you did too. But I'm glad that you think, Tess, that Becky makes the cutest projects, because she does, and I'm sure she's away to make another one just now with the animal applique templates.
I am. I'm just doing a little bit of pre-cutting.
Pre-cutting?
Pre-cutting. That is a word that I'm going to use. I don't know if it's a legitimate word. I'm going to be using some of, well, one of the rabbit templates that we've got here. So with all of these templates, you've got the ability to make 3 different sizes. Just looking for where I put the 3 different sizes. They're down here. Rummage, 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 Becky. There we go. Right, so you can see the items that we've got here. So 3 different sizes. You've got the deer, the rabbit, the polar bear and the fox. So useful for all sorts of different times of the year. So Christmas, use the deer, make him into Rudolph. It doesn't say Brent, it says Ben. Brent. The reason it doesn't say Brent is because this isn't yours. And look, now you've made Rudolph really embarrassed. Look.
Aww.
But yeah, of course, use it for Christmas, use it for any time of the year, and different sizes. So you've got that one, you've got the rabbit on a little toiletry bag, which is really lovely. We've got loads of toiletry bag dies and templates on the website that you could use with that, using them as a bit of home decor.
Hey, that's good.
For a kid's bedroom, you know, new baby, wasn't that be lovely, an item to have? And obviously you saw the fox t-shirt that we had, that Craig wore.
That I modelled within Wake Up Call.
He's got it underneath all his other clothes now, let's be honest.
Oh, yeah.
But the different sizes that you've got, these are the largest sizes of the animals that you've got here. So that's your rabbit, you've obviously got your fox here, you've got your polar bear, and then you've got your deer. So those are the large sizes. Then we go down to the smaller size. So we've got them here, so you've got rabbit, you've got your fox, you've got your bear, and you've got your deer. God, I had no idea what I was going to say then.
Ah! Doom.
Medium size. Got those ones there. Just to show you all the different sizes. And then down to the teeny weeny ones. And you're getting all of those 3 sizes in each of those packs. So it gives you really good value. So those are the kinds of things that you can do with those. So what we're going to do with the rabbit, I thought, I'm really messy, Craig. I need an apron.
Okay.
So I've made an apron. I will model it later for you. But it needs a little pocket on it for chocolate. Because you know I like to measure things by chocolate.
You do?
So as far as I'm concerned, pockets need to be sized according to chocolate bars. So this pocket is about the size of a packet of Smarties. So what we're going to do, it is very relevant, isn't it? In your pack that you'll get with the applique templates, you're going to be getting your templates here. And again, we've given you all the different sizes. We've made it very clear. We've got noses and eyes. If you watched a Wake Up Call, I did suggest that if you've got our animal applique multimedia dies with like the zoo animals and the jungle animals, those sorts of things, in there are some tiny dies to cut a circle. I would use those to cut because it's quite difficult to cut circles. And then you've also got your little guide to show you how to put together your rabbit. If you didn't know what a rabbit looked like, all the information is in there to show you how to put it together. And we've also given you instructions about how to adhere it and how to stitch it and finish it off, that sort of thing. So what we're going to do is I need to cut the rabbit's head, and I need size 2. So I'm just going to pop that on there. Again, those heat erasable pens are invaluable. Don't keep twisting it like I do. They're absolutely invaluable when you're using something like this.
I thought it was
So
like
marking through
magic
here.
when you showed me in Wake Up Call this
Did
morning.
I? I should have just said it is magic.
It is magic.
I should have used a chopstick like a wand that we were doing earlier and said a spell.
Yeah.
I said, look, it's magic, I can make it disappear. We are just going to cut around here. So I've not put any Bonder Web or anything else over the top of this. The one I will show you earlier, I did use Bonder Web, and that does help with the fraying, or the lack of fraying. But it doesn't, it's not something I've got with me. We don't sell it on the website, but you can buy it easily online in a pack, and I do find it really useful. I mean, it's really useful if you've got the situation where you have a pair of trousers and the hem comes down. I always use a bit of Bonder Web on there. Hello.
Hello.
What are you wanting?
The apron,
Me?
please.
Oh, you can't try the apron on yet.
Oh, you don't try
I'm
it
not.
yet?
I'm not ready yet.
Okay.
I'll call you when I'm ready, Brent.
Please do.
My goodness, honestly.
That was Brett. We'll get.
I don't think we'll get Brent squeezed into that t-shirt, but we
I
can
had to
try.
squeeze in the t-shirt. I doubt Brent will manage.
Come on, Brent.
Although that would be good to see.
Could you-
He's going
could
to
you
do
pop
it.
that on for
we'll
us?
get him on.
Crop top.
Okay, right.
He says it's like a crop
It's
top.
like a crop top. So we've got a body here. We've got a. I'm just going to cut that. It's not really the nice curve that I want. We've got the body there. Now we also need to. I need to cut out this piece which forms part of the face, but I also need a chest because our rabbit needs a chest. So I'm going to choose a chest size number 2.
He can't get it even over his body. It's meant to be a.
Is that like a one shoulder top you've got there?
Yeah, could take it on one of my holidays.
You
couldn't
could
I?
do, yeah.
It's a bikini top.
Very nice. I'll give you a shout when I'm ready for you to model the apron.
Please do.
Will do.
Okay. So we've got here, I'm just cutting out this piece which is going to form the chest. And the chest is going to go here. We're going to have the body of that. Remember, I've got a few lines on there. It doesn't matter. They're all going to disappear once I iron everything together. But I need to put some spray on. And so I'm just going around like this. I'm going to show you how it comes together. Like that. There we go. That way. Oh, sorry, that's not the right way around. That's that way. Like that. And then ears. So we've got some ears. And you can really have fun with this because you can make your rabbit sad
Sad.
or quizzical. Look,
Why would
that's
you
a
want a
thoughtful
sad
bunny.
rabbit?
That's a sad bunny, isn't it? That's a really sad bunny.
Oh, we're
This
all
is
in
a-
the day. Michelle's come in.
But this is a happy bunny. Yeah, do you want to try the t-shirt on, Michelle?
Yeah.
You've been prepping something really fun, haven't you? I did tell them earlier on.
Oh, did you?
What are you
Yeah.
prepping?
Shimmer sprays.
Oh, I like a shimmer.
First look tomorrow.
Oh.
I think.
I think it is, isn't it?
Yeah.
Wait till you see what she's been
I'm
doing.
covered. I'm very, very sparkly.
You're not complaining, are you?
No.
No. That's tomorrow, Michelle and Corin.
I'd like to watch that, but I'll be out at an early dinner. I won't not about. I'll be out with my friend tomorrow. I'm very excited to see my friend.
Yeah.
Who's coming over from Houston.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I know. My daughter said, "Did you ask her to bring over some goldfish?" And I was like, "Oh no, I forgot." I was like,
Goldfish?
"Oh, you're useless. You should have just said." So next time someone from here, yeah, they're like little cheesy crackers. Next time someone from here goes over, I'll have to ask them to bring back some goldfish. August, will they be going? Okay, excellent. So I'm just cutting around the nose. Again, I'm doing the same technique I did before. When it's something really small, I've got big fat sausage fingers, and it's easier to hold the item with the, don't zoom in on my sausage fingers, then I cut around round here with the tweezers.
And if you are doing it, just do what you're doing, take your time. Take your time.
Actually, it's easier. If I rest my hands on the table, it would be a lot easier rather than holding it up, but I haven't done it. And then that goes there. And then you just need to put the little eyes on there. And so then once you've adhered them to your piece of fabric, where is my piece of fabric? Hello, 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 where are you? My little pocket. So this is a pocket that I've made to go on my apron. I would just pop all these things on there, like that. My little eyes for my, like that.
So cute.
So I did them. I did them with some glue, and then I stitched around the outside to finish them off. So it looks like that.
Oh, look!
So what we're going to do now, so I say that a lot, so I'm going to take this one here and I'm going to stitch it onto my apron. So I'm just going to, I've stitched my apron already. So I'll show you what my apron looks like. So it does need a bit of a press on my apron. It might muck up my microphone.
Oh, you look like a dinner lady.
I look, thanks, I look like a dinner lady, Craig said. Thanks, Craig, thanks. It's not a tabard, it's a crossback apron.
Ooh, look at, ooh, you're in the nightclub with your cross.
I don't know, I look like a dinner lady. Of all the things anyone's ever said to me, I don't think anyone's ever said I look like a dinner lady.
Well,
The dinner ladies at my school were tyrants.
remember what we were talking about before we went live for Wake Up Call?
Yeah, all right. Craig's not very kind to me. Right, we have this round the right way round. If you wanted to find this pattern for this apron, I found it on a website that has an online crafting store.
Okay.
That's all I'm going to say. We want the pocket to go here. Now this pocket is big enough to fit 1, 2, 3, 4 packets of Smarties in it. I'm just saying it's very important to me that we have pockets for chocolate. That is going to be my campaign, pockets for chocolate.
Pockets of chocolates. Rightio, so you can see with the colour you've got. Now I love actually that look. I was actually thinking if you do your denim maybe, it could be like a dungaree. I know obviously it's an apron, but you've got that dungaree feel with going over your arms. That's what I was thinking anyway. So I suppose you could do it that way and then having that cross at the back. And that's a nice gift as well, and you can colour theme it when it comes to whoever you're making it for.
It would be a great idea to do a pair of dungarees like this for kids. You know, the kids always like a little character on things, don't they? So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to pull everything. So I've got a bit of interfacing down here. Make sure I've got everything out of the way. And then I'm just going to stitch along here. Obviously, you know, you'd want to use thread that works or thread that contrasts. I've got orange thread on here. So I'm going to stitch around the 3 sides, not the top.
I have to say, even although, of course, you know, I don't do soft crafts as such, I really do enjoy being on this side when it's the soft craft shows.
Do you?
I do. I find it interesting. I find it fascinating, just how things can come together, you know, and what you use to either cut or, of course, to sew it together or adhere it together.
Are you just saying that, Craig?
No, genuinely not.
Oh.
Genuinely not. No, I'm not just saying that. Not at all.
Aww. You're so kind, Craig. So, Craig, we need to do a craft along.
Yes, I know. We were talking about this. Yeah.
I mean, what would be what is your go-to craft along that you always think, that's something we should do, or something I do too much of, or my favourite idea for a craft along?
To be honest, because it's one of the shows I love, it's hard to pinpoint
what the kind of thing that you could do. So many choices.
I do a lot of frames,
Yeah.
or I have done. If there's anything that I do every periodically, like, you know, Debbie does the incredible like light up boxes, you know,
Oh, yeah.
because she loves her boxes, but she always does a different twist on it in the way that she makes it, and then makes the craft along. You know, every couple of months or that, I'll do a frame. So yeah, I think that's my sort of thing, is the framework when it comes to craft alongs. The one that always sticks in my mind is my favourite. It's got to be it was with Frosty and Bright,
Yeah.
and it was the Christmas cracker.
Christmas
And
cracker?
so it was actually with the Christmas nesting dies that we had on the show yesterday at that ridiculous price. They might still be on the website. But I'd done a craft along, and it was using the Cracker scoreboard for the Ultimate Pro. I don't think we still have that board anymore, but it was using that board, and then I made a box for 2 of the crackers, and then decorated it with the extra long nesting dies, Christmas nesting dies with Frosty and Bright. And I've still got, well, obviously I've got all the craft alongs, but in a box I store all my craft alongs dated. But that one I always have out. I've still got it out because I really enjoyed that.
I quite like the idea of making something like that. I've made, when I used to make cards when I was a teenager, I made like an exploding cracker. But that was like with a scalpel. I ended up having such an indentation in my finger from cutting everything, because you don't have the ease of having a scoreboard, or don't have the ease of a die cutting machine.
Yeah.
It was difficult like that. I've got no model.
Brent. John.
Could you model for me, please?
Oh no, you're all right. You'll be fine.
It's not that silly T-shirt.
John's in.
Right, John, I need you to pop this on. So this is my rabbit apron. Okay. So you put your head through that bit. Oh. And you put your arms through those bits there. And then if you turn around, like this, you've got the little straps that cross over at the back, like that. There you go. Can't get it over whatever you've got in your pocket. There you go.
Look at that! Hey.
So
That could be a dress.
now you can look fashionable and not worry about your clothing getting dirty, because you've got that amazing apron.
Everything I've ever dreamed of.
Can I just say, there's nothing, she's not in today. I would love Tracy to walk in and see John.
So that's using the threaders of applique templates. Little rabbit.
That's
and then
so
you just
good.
pop your chocolate in there. Or you know, what would you want? What would you want? I've got no chocolate.
Or when you're on your motorbike
I've
on
only
that,
got-
John, you could have your glasses or that.
Yeah.
Would it go well with your bike leathers? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Thank you very much. There you go.
Becky,
That's what you can make.
So cool. That is so cool. Absolutely love that one. That's come from your Animal Applique templates. That's your 4-pack with your free erasable pens. So when it comes to this, you are going to be getting your 3-pack of your erasable pens. We were using the black one, so you will get the 3. You get the blue, you get the black, and you get the red as well. So that's coming to you for free. And then what you're paying for, although you've got 15% off essentially, is the 4 of these templates. Now when it comes to these ones, you've got the rabbit, so that's what Becky was just using there. That was so beautifully modelled by John. Who needs Naomi Campbell when you've got John Anlow? Absolutely. You've then got your reindeer. You've then also got your stag. You've still got your fox, and then you've also then got your bear. So you've got your bear as well. So that's all for each of these ones. Come with 2 items. You've got the actual template that enables you to make 3 different sizes of the animals, and you get the instruction guide as well for each of them. So that's $33.96 or $44.03. If you are platinum, that's then going to come down to $27.17 or £35.22. So it's all there on the website for you to check out. These will be on shop Shop the Day, because of course this is an item we are featuring throughout the day as well. What I would say as well, we've not looked at or that, but there is a super awesome deal when it comes to the soft crafts and the pick of the day. Check that one out across on the website, because you'll get double points on it as well, and then it will end just before tomorrow's show or while stocks last. So it's all there for you to have a look at. But as you can see, we have fun here. Please, we get paid to have fun. Busy and tiring days, but we still have fun. So here's what makes all of our shows and what makes Crafters TV fun with all of us and you.
What makes Crafters TV so special is you guys.
It's really special because the experts are really experts. They're really skilled at what they do, and they want to make sure that the audience also improves on their skills.
Crafters TV is so special because you've got together a really sort of key group of people and people that are very passionate about the products.
Crafters TV is so special because it's a unique community that we have with each other, where we can learn and grow and communicate with each other.
Community, the family spirit, the education, everything to do with craft. We are all like-minded people who share a passion.
I love all the inspiration the demonstrators bring and all the knowledge for us out here.
What makes Crafters TV so special? 100% it's the interaction. No other crafting TV channel or show has the same interaction.
I love the community, I love chatting live, I think that's the best part. And it's gone beyond crafting because we've become friends.
It feels to me to be a really, really close relationship with our customers and viewers.
You guys make us feel like we're part of your family. I've never been on the show before, but one of my friends who I did meet from CCTV encouraged me, and I was on the craft along.
A massive team of people, and I think they've all got their role to play, and it just brings everything together. It allows us to do our job and just love it.
The people, obviously, the people not just here at Crafters Companion, but the viewers that watch us. I mean, everybody. We have this real magical essence about it.
Bye for now. Bye.
Here at Crafters TV, it couldn't be easier to get your hands on the latest crafty must-haves. Leave the hard work to us while you shop from the comforts of your own living room. Head to the Crafters Companion website to see our full crafty range, or hit the Shop the Day button to see all the new and exciting products featuring on Crafters TV. Once you've filled your cart, leave it to us to get your crafty goodies to you in super quick time, so you can get on with being creative. Crafters Companion, making crafty shopping a breeze. Introducing the Gemini 2. Our brand new electronic die cutting and embossing machine has all the power and precision of the original Gemini, but with updated functions and innovative new features. Faster and quieter than ever before, the Gemini 2 does all the hard work for you. Cut out the most intricate designs in seconds, and all at the touch of a button. Technology to apply higher pressure than many other machines offers perfectly crisp and clear results every time. The Gemini 2 has the power to take creative projects of all shapes and sizes in its stride. It will cut through a range of materials, from card and paper to cork, thin metal, leather, and multiple layers of fabric. So you can save time on your papercraft, sewing, and multimedia projects. A new and improved optical sensor runs the full length of its 9-inch platform, offering edge-to-edge precision with cutting plates of any size. Pause, rewind, and resume functions take the guesswork out of crafting. Smooth gliding feet make light work of moving and maneuvering your Gemini 2. And a turntable offers 360 degrees of crafting freedom. Neat storage compartments hold craft tools so they're always at your fingertips right when you need them. A built-in media stand and 3 USB charging points invite you to craft along with your favourite tutorials and workshops on your tablet or phone. Easy to use and with everything you need to get started right out of the box, the Gemini 2 is for beginners and experienced makers alike. From scrapbooking and home decor to handmade cards, quilting and everything in between, bring your creativity to life with the Gemini 2.
We Teresa Chalmers on Facebook has said, I like the way you think. Chocolate, it's vitally important in all aspects of life.
It is, absolutely.
How
much easier is it to think of measurements in chocolate bars?
In chocolate bars.
I don't want to be bothered by those inches and centimetres rubbish. Just tell me it's the size of a Mars bar. And I know how big it is.
Rachel's enjoying one as well, and actually one of my favourites, Terry's White Chocolate Orange, but the bar that's out currently.
There's a bar?
There's a bar of Terry's White Chocolate.
Ooh,
yeah.
That sounds good.
It is nice. It just tastes like Terry's Chocolate Orange. It's white, but in bar form.
Which is why I'm surprised that you've not got white chocolate Smarties with the orange flavour in them.
Yeah, I'm surprised at that one as well. What they have done is there is a white chocolate bar with milk chocolate Smarties in them. Please, chocolate makers, stop mixing milk and white together. Now, some may like that, but us that are a fan and a lover of white chocolate and not milk chocolate, no, we don't want that. So, in other words, if you're going to do Smarties, a white chocolate bar, can you please make sure that the Smarties inside are white chocolate as well? Just say it.
Or bring back the old flavours when you had a coffee one.
I don't ever remember.
No, you wouldn't
Smarties.
remember because I think it was like in 1938, and even I don't remember them. But I think that would be quite nice if you had flavoured Smarties. Like the blue one should be blueberry. Actually, was the blue one not white chocolate at one point?
Blue. Say that again.
Was the blue Smartie not white chocolate originally?
They done I think it was like a competition.
Yeah.
They've done a competition, whereas what was it? What flavour was it or something? And how they managed to do it looked like milk, but it tasted like white. It was obviously maybe colouring or something. And then once that competition was over, they kept the blue ones white for a wee while. And then just last year or so, I think it was Christmas last year, they've come out as white ones.
Yeah.
So I do like them. We've also got, sorry Smarties, I do like.
Too many Smarties.
Yes,
Craig.
too many Smarties the day, that's what happens. Some people it's beans, me it's Smarties. Sensational Sky on YouTube say, goodness me, some people just like the interruption, Brent, don't they? We've also got Melanie D saying excited for the Shimmer Ranks. Yeah, that's Michelle and Corin. Michelle and Corin all weekend. You've got Corin presenting and you've got Michelle doing the demonstrations. There is first looks, there's class, craft along, there's master classes as well. So it's going to be a really good weekend with the ladies. We've also got Gareth Dobbs is saying, Becky, we have an American shop here that sells the fish things you're after. Oh, I could always grab some and send them
that's
to you.
really kind of you. There is one near me. My daughter's just lazy. She's not watching, so I can say that. But thank you. Yeah, I think we need a little trip over to the US to go and buy
definitely do.
little USC things that you can't get. There was I was watching a show. You know those like strawberry? They're not strawberry laces, but they're like strawberry. Are they called Twizzlers?
Twizzlers.
Yeah, you don't get those over here unless you go to an American
Yes, you
sweet
do.
shop. And don't they say that they're supposed to be some kind of scam, aren't they?
B&M.
B&M do them.
B&M 10-pack. Okay, they've gone up in price. $1.29.
Oh, I'll have to stock off at one of those.
Because I bought a pack just the other week when I was in B&M.
Do you cut the end? Do you bite each end off and use it as a straw?
No, I just bite and then chew. So you do get them. Terry Anderson, Craig, if you try to sew along with Becky, you could get a star for effort.
Well, that's good, because that's what I'm going to get you to do in a minute.
Brilliant, excellent. Rhonda's saying it was such a fun craft along doing it with Becky.
Great, good. I'm glad you enjoyed it, Rhonda.
Adorable apron, Mary Pat 1000 is saying. Sensational Sky on YouTube. Craig, you must have had some posh dinner, ladies. That looked like a ball gown. You're right. I always went to pack lunches.
Ball gown, but at the back it's open.
Yeah.
So, because it's quite freeing as a ball gown, I think would be the phrase.
I never done school dinners because where my parents lived and still live there now, my primary school was just right behind. So I always came home for lunch, or if I did stay for whatever reason, I just took a packed lunch, or Mum made me a packed lunch.
So my school, my school that I went to until the age of 11, I mean, it was, in some ways it was quite strange because we'd have cheese course, a cheese course. So you could go, you could have your food. you have your food, and then you could either have seconds or you could have a cheese course. So a cheese course would be a lump of cheddar and 2 Jacob's crackers, or a Dairy Lee triangle cut in half.
With chopsticks.
With chopsticks. But then we'd have things like fish fingers, crisps, and tomato ketchup.
How the other half live. There's a whole chapter on that coming in Becky's book in the future. All about the dinner ladies. Right, okie doke. Let's crack on and let's see what Becky's going to get me to do.
Right, so I'm going to be making some heart bunting. So what we've got here is, obviously you've seen these nesting dies that we had before. Oh, I've just lost that little one. I'm using the second largest heart, but you could use, actually it looks quite nice doing the bunting with all sorts of different sizes. It does look quite nice. Now Craig, I am going to give you a bit of a challenge because I'm going to get you to sew around 2 of these. And there's lots of curves. But we're going to give it a whirl. We're going to see how we go. So I've got here 2, 4, 6, 8. I've got 10 layers of fabric here, and I'm going to give it a try. I'm going to give it a try through the new Gemini to see if we'll cut them. We do say we save 6 to 8 layers of fabric, but why not? Let's just give it a try. So tape everywhere.
Okay. Oh, there you go, stick it on me. So this is a plate configuration, and you don't need a metal shim.
No, because I mean,
it's the simplest shape.
I've said to you before, I'm really lazy and I use my fabric plates for cutting paper.
Do you do? Yeah.
So if I was at home, I'd have my fabric plates out because they're by my desk all the time. But multimedia dies, you would just use. You'd either use this configuration here, or if you're finding that it's not cutting through, you might use your metal shim underneath.
Can I just see before we go on, right? I'm going to come round. I'm going to go face on, close to the camera. So Dean, stay there.
Yep.
Leanne, if you're watching, you know I always flip and rotate. I always flip and rotate. If you don't, this will happen. This will start to happen. So in order for these to last 3 times longer, please be really, really good and flip and rotate. I've used mine, so I've had my Gemini for a good number of weeks, and as you can imagine, I use it a lot. It does stay flat if you flip and rotate. So whoever's not been doing that, but Leanne, if you're watching, I've been doing it.
I've used it 3 times today and I've not rotated it at all.
Flip and rotate
you know what? It doesn't, in the scheme of things, it doesn't matter. Because you can still use it.
I thought you were at 6, it's not yours.
Yes. It doesn't matter because you can still use it, can't you?
But do you know what it is? What I don't want is people to think, oh, we're saying it'll last 3 times longer. Look at them, they're using that, and it doesn't. You do need to flip and rotate them. I've been really good in doing it, and they do stay flat. So in order for them to stay flat longer, please do remember and flip and rotate them.
Do what Craig says, not what I do. I'm going to use metal shim.
Go for it.
So I thought, why not? Because hardly anyone's used it. And then I'm going to use a frosted plate, and then I was going to say the clear plate on the top.
Okay.
Like we said before, if you do it wrong, you put too many things in, it'll just spit it back out anyway, won't it?
I'm going to use a media stand so I can see your comments.
Oh.
I'm just going to pull that one.
Don't put it too much because then my sewing machine will fall off this.
That way. Go better if I go that way, Craig. There you go. Perfect. Right here.
You help me, Craig.
And then, so this is still the same plate configuration that you would do when it comes to the clear plates beforehand.
Yes. Yeah.
So this is where the plates don't change.
Don't
change. Did you flip and rotate them?
Yeah. No, I do when I remember. And that's the thing. You've got to get into the habit
you do have to get
doing,
into the habit.
doing it. And I think sort of, I'm a bit nervous when I'm at work.
Do you know what it is? And you are right, because we're against the time, and it's we don't always do what we preach.
No. You sort of grab things, don't you?
You grab things, yeah. Where it's different when you've paid for them yourself, isn't it? Like I've done with mine.
And I think lots of people mark on them, don't they? And that's the thing that you should be doing. So that has cut through. I'm not using the fabric plates. 2,
Clean cut.
Yeah, really clean cut. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 layers of fabric.
So it's quite deep and it's crisp and it's even.
It is. It's like good King Wenceslas. Right. Now, what we're going to do, Craig, is we've got 2 pieces here. I'm going to pin them together, and then I need you to stitch around the edge.
Okay.
But I want you not to stitch.
My finger.
Well, I don't want you to stitch your finger, but I also don't want you to stitch in a couple little places. So I don't want you to stitch in between those pieces and in between those pieces.
So in between?
No, not in between.
Not in between,
yeah,
those
so
pieces.
the way I would start it, in fact, I'll do one,
okay,
and then you can see what I mean. So this, that obviously doesn't matter because it's the same fabric, but this one, I want it right sides together. I'm going to put some pins in it, like that. And we're making stuffed hearts.
Oh.
So we're going to put a little mark down here. You should really measure this out, but we're not. We're just doing it by eye, like that. And heat erasable pens would be ideal for this, but again, it doesn't really matter. Now, what we're going to do, and I'm stitching with orange thread again, which isn't what you would do, but it doesn't matter because we're showing you how to stitch it. So I want to start here, this first point here, and we're going back and forth a couple of times. I'm going to stitch all the way around to here, go back and forth a couple of times, and then do the same around here as well. And that's where it gets really tricky, where you've got that kind of you know, all those sort of curves, and you're trying to keep a 1/4 inch seam allowance as you go past. So you're just doing it very. Oh, hold on a minute.
Or is it pulled out when I was
That's
using
it.
the Gemini?
Right. Okay, so we're just stitching around. You see here, I'm keeping this edge here, just over the where the fabric is. So I'm stitching around, I'm just turning. So when you're going around these sort of smooth curves, you can generally sort of just move it, you do not have to sort of take it off. Now I want to keep my needle down, so I'm just turning that handle to keep the needle down in the fabric, and then that enables me to lift up the foot and then move the fabric around. I'm going to do the same going around this side, like this.
And are you just tapping your foot on the
don't
foot press?
No, it is like driving a car. All I would say is be really careful while you're here, because sometimes I get this trapped underneath the table when I'm not concentrating, and sometimes it sews on its own. So just stitch around here a little bit further. You're just using you're just using a light touch on your sewing machine. And I'm going to get to around about here. Do one more stitch, and then I'm going to go back, and I'm going to press that button to go back, and that will just seal that little stitch. So then I'm going to trim that, and then I want to start again over here, round about there. It doesn't matter hugely if you're not sort of, you've made your space a little bit too big. Again, we're going to go back and forth, and then this curve is much harder because it's much more of a deep curve. So we're just going to stitch a couple of stitches at a time. We're sewing around. And then if I've got a place like round here now, I need to lift my fabric. And so I'm making sure I've got my needle down. So some machines will have a needle down button. This one does, the other one that I was using didn't. So I can just keep that down. So now whenever I stop, it will always stop with the needle in place in the fabric. You don't always have that on a machine. As I say, the other one that I was using earlier doesn't have that. And again, keeping the needle down when I've got to that point, not quite far enough, I need to do another stitch. And then stitch around here. Oops. So we're just doing a couple of stitches at a time. Like that. So you can see you're only doing 1 or 2 at a time. It's not a race. You're just turning it around those curves, and then you go back and forth, and then you lift up your stitching. I keep doing that, thinking there's a cutter there. So now you can see we've stitched around the outside, with the exception of that little space down there, which is where we're going to turn everything through. And what we want to do is we want to trim this corner off so it's nice and sharp, and we want to cut out a little V shape at the edge, not going too close to the stitching. So it means that when we turn that all round, you'll get a nice shape of your heart. So do you want to have a go?
I'll have a go.
I would do this. Let's get this here for you. Craig, you're going to be fine. get rid of all this. Let's tie it there. Now, I would just go from that bit here. Now, if that's in the way, we'll push that over there so it's out of the way a bit more, but it will be might be in the way there. So if you just start, pop that where it should be, and then you have a go.
Good luck.
Oh, this is great. This is like having an assistant.
So, just hold it.
Yeah, just gently. And we want to go back and forth a couple times, a couple more stitches and then stop. We want to press this little button up here and press that button here, and we just go backwards a couple of times. So do another one. Press it again.
It's just, you know, when you're trying to gauge the actual foot press.
It's difficult. When you're standing up, it's always harder to sew.
And then just keep going.
Keep on going, yeah. That's it. Oh, look at Craig. So when you're getting to that point, you're trying to judge the edge of the fabric, so you want about 1/4 inch.
Okay.
So you want to do a couple more stitches.
Forward.
Yeah, a couple more stitches forward, and then when you're ready to stop, you can stop now, so you can let go of the fabric.
Okay.
And then you can lift up the foot with this little handle here, and because your needle is stuck, just pull it up.
Oh, that way, yeah.
Because your needle is stuck, you can move this fabric around.
Got ya.
So you can see whether it's in the right place, or whether you need to do 1 or 2 more stitches.
Okay,
Looks like it's round about the right way.
Perfect.
And then when you're ready, just drop that foot again, and then stitch around
up to that
point. But you might have to take that needle out, or that pin out.
Right, you go.
So you want, don't run over your pins or your fingers until you get to that little point, and then we're going to, when you get to it, you stop, and you're going to press that button that's going to go back and forth. Okay, and then press that button up there, and do it once more. Do it once more. That's it. And that should, and lift the foot up, and then you can press the needle up position. That's it, and then pull it out, and then we'll just cut it. Then you can do it again. So you've gone slightly over that, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You start from there, and then do exactly the same. But this bit is more of a challenge because you've got quite a lot of curves here. So this is a bit harder. So when you're happy with where the needle is going to go, you just need to pop that down so you can see where that needle is going to go. If you're happy with that, then pop it down. So you just turn this little handle. And if you're not happy with it, you just lift up and move it slightly.
Okay.
Okay, so I think you're about right there. So let's go that way. You can start stitching.
And then just keep going forward.
Yeah. But you can see you've got to just do a couple of stitches and then turn it. So you're sort of moving, you're manipulating that fabric underneath the foot. Try and keep your fingers at the front rather than the back. They're here. You want them here. Yeah.
Here, right, yo.
So you can see what you're doing. And stitch around those curves. Is it staying in one position?
No, I think
it is a little bit, isn't it? Okay, let's have a look. So let's do that. Let's have a look. Oh no, I think it's going okay. We'll carry on a little bit. So let's go through.
So am I guiding it, or is
no? You've got to guide it. So
I've got to guide it.
I keep my fingers like this and move it like that.
Got ya. Right, yo. And then I'm coming down to down to here.
So all we're doing here is stitching around the outside. So if you wanted to make a pin cushion, for example, you would do this in exactly the same way. When you get to that point, when you're happy, stop, and then we're just going to turn this handle. So this handle moves the needle back and forth, and we want to lift up that foot because you're coming to a point.
Right.
And then you want to sort of turn it to go around those curves again.
Okay.
Like that. So you would do exactly the same thing if you were stitching a pin cushion, or you wanted to make these in any other kind of way, shape or form, unless you were going to be doing a plique.
Okay.
So you just carry on.
And then, so I do what I've just done there, but to that point there, got you. Right,
so while Craig's doing that, I'm just turning out the heart that I've got here, which I've stitched around. I'm just going to turn it out. It can, the smaller you've made those little gaps, the more of a challenge it is for you to turn it out, but it shouldn't be a problem. It just takes a little bit of time. And this is where you need a chopstick, really, or a pen. That's it. You're doing well, Craig. I'm impressed.
Enjoying it.
I tell you what, Craig, when I'm on holiday, have you gone back and forth a couple of times? That's it.
So do
And
that.
again. That's it. Then lift up that foot. Okay. That's it. And then just pull it up. That's it. And then pull your fabric. And if it's stuck a little bit, you just give it a wiggle and then trim it there. That is not bad. That's not bad at all. Well done, Craig. So I'm on holiday for quite a lot of July.
Oh yeah.
Could you cover?
Yeah, as long as it's not when I'm in London and money in the bank, but yeah.
Excellent.
Oh, look
Well
at
done.
that.
I'm impressed, Craig, because that was not an easy shape for me to give you. I should have done. We should have got you to do the cutlery thing. So we're just going to turn out. So trim those. Get rid of all those threads because those threads are a nightmare if we've not got rid of them. Because they just get in the way. I would turn it out from, actually you've got really small little places, but you just want to turn it out like that. You just sort of tease it, maybe use tweezers.
Okay.
Just there, and you can pull that out.
And just start to manipulate it out.
So I'm going to, I've almost got to the point where I'm ready to stuff my heart. So I'm going to just use a pen here just to make sure that I've got all those little pieces pulled out. So obviously you've got these two little gaps on either side. And the reason for that is because I want to, sorry Craig, I want to, I'm doing stuffed hearts. So my hearts are like this, and they're on a ribbon to go across a room or something like that. So I've got my ribbon.
Or do I need to do the little?
Oh yes, you do need. So you want to just cut a little V into that point there, and you just want to cut the end off that heart, so it's sort of fairly flat. So I'm going to thread this piece of ribbon through. And then we're going to stuff it, and then we're going to seal it up by hand stitching to create the little heart bunting.
I see what you mean by if you do your smaller gaps, it's a bit harder.
And it would be harder with the smaller hearts, definitely. If you just wanted to make something very simple, I would do a big heart and just stuff it once and make it, stuff it with a bit of lavender maybe.
Well, that's a nice idea,
so
isn't
like
it?
a drawer freshener, whatever you call them. So when you've got your heart in the right place on your ribbon, just want to turn that round, make sure I've got my hearts around the right way, and pop it there. And I'm just going to pin it here so it doesn't move. And then I'm going to take my stuffing. So this is toy animal stuffing, and you're just using little pieces of this to go in through that little gap and stuff it through. This is where using a chopstick's really useful, or using a pen. If you've got our heat erasable pens, where the heat erasable rubber bit is, it's nice and soft, and that's really good for putting through and sort of stuffing. But you can do that with a pencil, but you just need to be a bit careful. So you can see we're just sort of stuffing this through, making sure it's all in the right place. It just takes a little bit of fiddling around, and use that pen to put that in the right place again. And then once we've finished, we made sure our heart's nice and stuffed. We would, the side that we're stuffing, the side that's closest to the end of the ribbon, we want to seal the other end up first, and it just gives us a bit more space to move and get more sort of stuffing in, if that's the way you're going to be going with it. So you just choose one end that you're going to work on. So you can see here now I've got, just need to fold that in a little bit. So again, this is something that if you spend a little bit of time doing, you'll get a better finish. I'm going to pin that there. And put this in here as well. Do we both get a star if this wins? I think we should. I think Craig should get a gold sparkly star if this wins. Well done, Craig. Here. Oh, that'd be quite good. So see if you can thread that through there.
Okay.
And there's some stuffing for you. So Nicola's just said, if this wins demo of the show, it could be Becky and Craig versus Craig for demo of the...
So it could be Becky versus Becky and Craig versus Craig.
Yeah. Has that ever happened? I don't think it has.
I don't think it has it?
No. Maybe this is the start of collaborative crafting.
Maybe, I like it.
Collaborative crafting. It needs a little song. It's like the whole tumbleweed thing, isn't it?
It is, isn't it?
That's not going to work now. Is it going to blow? No. Oh yeah, because it's quite windy around here. Right. So I've almost stuffed my heart as much as I need to. I'm then going to hand stitch this together.
Thank you for the comments, guys. Sandra Dundas, well done, Craig. I never doubted you. Craig, this is from Terry Anderson. Craig, you need a sewing machine. You're doing a phenomenal job of effort. Thank you. We've also got Terry Anderson is also saying you got this, Craig. Oh, I love it. Thank you. Actually, we've got a question. Charlotte Bruce is saying, hi, from Tennessee. Aren't you supposed to start a new sewer on paper with lines? They learn how to learn the machine first without frustration.
I don't know. I've never. The thing is, I don't really remember learning how to sew because I just always have done.
Yeah.
I don't remember. I remember being at college and I did textiles, but I started late because I'd been to a different college, so I missed the first lessons or 2 weeks worth of lessons. So I don't know is that's the case. Yeah, I mean, starting Craig with a heart, I mean, that is pretty good going. Lots of curves on that.
Yeah.
And I think Craig's done an amazing job stitching that because I wouldn't have wanted to have that as my first go.
For something like Crafters TV, you're not going to give me something that's like paper, you know, when, you know, you want to get me doing a bit of soft craft.
I want you doing a bit, being a bit challenged because, you know, why not?
Yeah.
You know. What have we done out of our comfort zones today? I did papercraft this morning. I was very nervous. But yeah, we've got Dean Vision Mixing in the gallery. I'm going to have a piece of cake today, which is really unusual for me. So I normally have 3 pieces of cake.
Yeah.
Right, I'm just stitching here by hand to secure everything in place.
Another question, good one as well, because I was just thinking it while I was doing this. Crafty Angie on YouTube, quick question. How do you determine how much stuffing to put in? I made a crochet reindeer and I don't know how much to stuff.
What, are you going to give him a cuddle? If you're going to give him a cuddle, make sure he's stuffed enough to be soft, but not stuffed enough, because the stuffing over time does sort of move. I don't really like those sort of animals or those dolls that you cuddle and they're quite hard because they're so thick with stuffing. So I think it's a preference.
A bit like a pillow, isn't it?
I mean, I think these are about right. This heart here, that they're firm but they're soft. That's what I would go for. Firm but soft.
As you say, it's kind of like a personal preference, isn't it? What you're using it for.
It is. Exactly. And I think, you know, if you want to give something a big squidge, you want a bit of substance to it, really. So we're just going to, I'm going to stitch around here again to finish that one off.
Do we have any more bit of faux? I'm just missing about the corner that I was trying to push out.
That is all I've got.
That's all right.
Sorry.
No, I put it all in one
I was only
lodge.
expecting to do one heart, you see. That's why I've only got enough for one.
That's okay.
Because there wasn't a lot of space in my car this week. I have 4 boxes of samples to bring back.
Right, you have your sewing and your paper craft.
Oh, yeah, exactly. All right, so I'm tucking that edge in. I would have given that a little bit of a press, and I would have spent a bit more time on getting this absolutely pristine, so you've got those nice curves in there, but difficult to do with the time that we've got today.
Just to say as well, but briefly from Terry, this is going back to the plates. Terry Anderson, Craig, well said, I couldn't agree more. I have been using my plates to death making a catalogue or making my catalogue of dies. I've been flipping and rotating them and they've only warped ever so slightly. So thank you for letting us know that. Nicola saying she actually said, Terry sent a picture on Tuesday and they were pretty straight.
All right, a couple more stitches down here. I'm doing this very quickly. Conscious of the time. We're a great team, Craig.
We are a great team, aren't we? Great team.
Bit of hand sewing?
Yeah, let's do it.
There you go.
So how do I start? Because I'm only used to cross stitch.
So I would, so you'd either put a piece of a little knot at the end, but what you want to do,
because I'll need to stitch that a little bit.
What I would do here is I would stitch, I'd do a couple of stitches underneath here. We're using the wrong thread for all of this, but it doesn't matter. Oh, not like that. So you can either put a knot in it, or you could just go to there and do a couple of stitches over the top of each other to secure it, just for the moment. You could do this by machine, as well if that's what you wanted to do. But better to stitch with your the right colour thread. Now what you want to do is you want to stitch through around the other side.
Okay.
Like that. You just want to make sure that's all tucked in. So this bit here, we want to make sure that's all tucked in. We're going to stitch.
And that's why you've done the gaps at those bits, because of the ribbon.
For the ribbon, yeah. So you're just going to stitch through there, like that. You could just do a little bit of a running stitch. So if you were using a thread that was pink, no one would see it. But obviously with the white, they are going to see it, but it doesn't really matter because it's to show you how to do these things, isn't it? And actually it's better to use a contrasting thread to show people on the screen. And then we're just going to do that all the way across, like that, and just tuck that little piece in, like that, and stitch along, and then do the same with the other piece. Okay. So you can see, cutting with those dies, you're going to be cutting multiple layers of fabric. It would be 8 to 10 layers of fabric.
back stitching, sorry, to the...
I just do a running stitch.
So does that just keep going forward and forward?
Because you're only securing. I mean, it's almost doing the same thing with a sewing machine. We could just do that little stitch with a sewing machine.
Got you.
It would be easy enough to do. But with these, I mean, you could put a little bit of lavender oil on them, or a little bit of rose oil. You can use them for scenting your drawers. You can use them for hanging up for a party if you wanted to. And you could also make them as long strings of hearts, which I always think looks quite nice as well. You know, and you always have like those strings of hearts, and you could use all of those different pieces. So you could do them on, you could do like a large circle or a large square out of those nesting dies, and then maybe decorate them with the hearts and make them into kind of bunting or things like that. There's always those sort of options. So it's really sort of a diverse item that you can use with these. Now the other thing that you can do with the circle ones is you can cut multiple circles out, and then you can, if I've got a circle to show you, if there was a circle, if this was a circle, you can fold it in half and then fold it into quarters, and then you stitch around the edge as a running stitch, and then you put it together and you end up making these little petals, and you can stitch 5 of those together and make a flower, again, which is really, really pretty. And I've done that on a previous show. If anyone's interested, I can always sort of do a little video over the weekend to show you how to do it, but it's really easy to do.
I've gone round my ribbon.
Oh, never mind. Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Let's just finish it off. No one will see that bit. And I have really jumped you this item to do, didn't I? With no warning,
no
preparation. It's like the eating of the eating of the Smarties with the chopsticks. We didn't have any time to prep, did we?
No, we didn't.
I think that is the best part, because it shows what you can do with no preparation at all, how you can craft. And it makes, I hope that's inspired anyone at home to have a go at making doing a world record. Will I do it again? Yeah. Next time, can I do the one about eating Ferrero Rochers, please? It was on Britain's Got Talent, and it was the most amount of Ferrero Rochers eaten in a minute. And Ant and Dec were in the what's the word? Behind the scenes, and they went and bought some Ferrero Rochers because they wanted to give it a whirl.
Tried it.
And Ant ate more Ferrero Rochers than the person that was trying to break the world record.
Oh.
I don't know how many it was, but I'd quite like to do that. I like a Ferrero Rocher.
Yeah, I like the white ones, of course, yeah.
Although eating the nuts is quite a big chew, isn't it? That's probably why it's one of the things to do.
And then just chop that off.
Yeah, let's just get rid of that. Yeah, perfect. Right, so there we go. We've got. So, did you say 15 for? 2 minutes 70. I can easily do that. Oh my goodness, I can easily do that. Yeah, let's do that next time I'm here. Right, so there we've got a Craig and Becky, a little bit of heart bunting.
How cool's that?
I'm pleased with that.
I'm pleased with that too.
Well done, Craig.
I'm really pleased.
Thank you. We should do that again.
I really like that. I really like that.
And it just shows all the different things you could do with those nesting dies.
Exactly.
But I mean, using those for, paper craft and being able to have them for that. I mean, mat and layers for, all those sort of circles and squares is great.
Give me 2 seconds. I'll go and do a recap on the other side there with these ones. Really enjoyed that one.
Good. I'm glad. I'm glad. I'm
Nice.
hoping that that's going to make you want a sewing machine and do more sewing soft craft.
Never say never.
No, why
never
not?
say never. No, it'd always come in handy. But that was, I really loved that one. And that was with the Love Hearts, what you're going to be getting when it comes to your multimedia nesting dies. Now, when it comes to these ones here, it is buy two, get two free. They haven't been seen since April, so it's good to have them. $49.98 or $79.90 with a platinum price of $39.98 or $63.92. You've got the triangles where you've got 7 of them. You've then also got the Love Hearts, which I was just using there. We've then also got our squares, and then we've also got our circles all there for you to be using. And of course, with those you can make your pom-poms or you can make your frames if you want to. A lot of love for what I was doing there. Thank you so much, Karen. Thank you, Denise Davies. Craig, I would give you a gold star for effort. Yes. Literally a gold star. Crafty Angie on YouTube says, the stuffing seems to push through the stitches. Does that matter? Obviously, I went maybe a little bit too close at one point, but yeah, that was fun. Loved that. Oh, Lynn Blackledge is saying, hashtag Go Live Granny is saying, loving this show. I'm glad you are, and everyone else as well. Really, really loved that. And Rachel's just giving me loads of hand claps saying, I'm impressed, Craig. Thank you, Rachel. Oh, yeah. That's what you can do with your nesting dies. Rightio, let's get the vote going for demo of the show.
How many demos did I do? 3.
3.
3. 3. Right. So the first one is the little cutlery holder. Great for popping on your table for the summer. Then we've got the apron with the rabbit on the front. And then finally we've got Becky and Craig's make the heart bunting.
Heart bunting. There
1,
you
2
go.
or 3. Let us know. I'm going to put the apron on.
The choice is yours. 3 incredible projects, even with the third one, if I do say so myself. Right, that's it from me.
Well, it's not really.
For this side. We are going to be back, if you are watching live, we're going to be back in just over a couple of hours time where we're going to do a flip-flop. Becky's going to be on this side. I'm going to take the reins over across on the demonstration side where we're having a look at our brand new launch. It is the official 2-hour launch of our brand new panel dies. Now, when it comes to your panel dies, you are going to be getting the actual die set. So these are the ones where you've got the outline die as well as the decorative die. That does mean then that the cut in or the cut out, but what you've got as well is embossed detail. So that is your brand new launch. This is the showstopper that we are showing you, where you also get your tricolour aqua pens. Now within the showstopper, what that essentially means that you are going to be paying for your brand new nesting dies, or sorry, your brand new panel dies, and you're going to get 2 of these for free. So you're going to get them ones for free. It works out $59.98 or $79.78. That is your today's price. Of course, you'll get your Club Inspire on top of that at the website. So that is your showstopper. I've got loads of demonstrations I want to show you. If you do just want to go for the dies on their own, which you can absolutely do that, they are there on the website as well. They're £40 or $50. That's at today's price. Of course, you will then take your actual Club Inspire off of that. So details that you see is the showstopper, which is everything, $59.98 or $79.98. That's giving you a platinum price of $47.98 or $63.98. If you didn't see Wake Up Call, what I would please urge you is before launch date, if you have a chance, go back into Wake Up Call, because Becky demonstrated these ones. She's done a paper craft when it comes to these ones and done 2 incredible demos plus a soft craft demo where you can see how you can be using them. But if you do just want to go for the dies on their own, as I say, that comes to £40 or $50. So that gives you the dies as that launch, saving 10%, but a platinum price of £32 or $40. We're going to be embossing, we're going to be inking, we're going to be layering, we're going to be doing colouring, we're going to do a few different things other than cards as well. So really looking forward to showing you my take. Remember, they are embossing dies as well, so they've got incredible embossing detail, and the decorative die cuts in as well as cutting out should you choose to use the outline die. But the result is in. I can now reveal that the votes have been counted and clarified, and the winner of demo of the show, going through to Crafters' Houses for an opportunity to face Becky in demo of the day, and then Craig from the next show, is number... We've done it!
Yay!
Number 3.
First collaborative craft.
There you go.
Excellent. Well done, Craig. That was really good. I
really enjoyed that.
Sewing a heart is not an easy thing to do. Well, I think you did
Thank
really
you for
well.
showing me. And thank you for, I know you've always got great patience anyway, but thank you for just stepping me through it. And I know that you guys, you know, you enjoyed seeing me doing it, but you just loved hearing you. That I think what it is as well, Becky, is sometimes there can be a difference between visually explain it, verbally explain it to the screen at home, to doing it with someone. Do you know what I mean? So it's a nice little take as well in the way that you explain it. And I think that's what everyone loved as well. So yeah, so it's going to be Becky versus Craig and Becky versus Craig. Demo of the day. That's going to be an interesting. So if anything, at least one of us are going to win.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And we've both got 2 chances.
We've got 2 chances. I would love it if we had our first time ever.
If we got a star, do we have to cut the star in half?
No, 2 stars. Well, a star each.
Yeah.
A star each.
Yeah.
So yeah.
We don't have to cut the star in half. We have to share a star.
No, we'll, yeah.
Yeah.
Right, if you do want to get ahead with the actual showstopper or the dies, if you want to have a look at anything that Becky's been showing you, as well as a few other items that are there across on the website, quite a few. These ones there are on Shop the Day. You know where you need to go, crafterscompanion.co.uk.com or .eu. While you're always there, I do like to urge you to just have a look at the other sections there. You know, sometimes you'll find a clearance section. There's always a download section, project section. The other thing that you always find is if you lose your manuals for any of your Gemini machines or that, or even your scoreboards, even you've got templates there, you've even got some of your decoupage pads that you can then print out. They're all there at the download section, inspiration section, for you to then print and keep. So it's all there for you to have a look at and shop. While you're there, of course, you can watch us live from the website and shop straight from the show. But as I say, we are going to be live in the next couple of hours with our brand new launch. That's launch day, and we'll see you then.